Here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Snow's Seafood and Steak on Airline Highway in Gonzales at 74. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff along with Jimmy Ott. George Kinchin's back in the studio. Randy McKay with us today. Scott Rabal with us today. We get Rab's take you here on National Signing Day. And Wes Reynolds from VEASAN will be with us. Lot to get to. National Signing Day. It's so much different than it used to be. We've sort of gotten used to this, I guess, now over a 5-6 year period with the early signing period. But LSU has 15 players signed already today. The remaining 11 on the commitment list, don't think that they will sign all 11 of those. Include Derek Meadows, the wide receiver from Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas, who is expected to sign with Alabama today, and Mike Tyler, the tight end from Columbia, South Carolina, who's expected to sign with Columbia, are players that are currently still on LSU's commitment list that are expected to sign elsewhere. But some of the bigger names that came in this morning, Charles Ross, the 4-star linebacker out of Houston, is in. Harlem Berry, the 5-star running back out of Metairie, is in. Aiden Anding, the 4-star cornerback out of Ruston, is in. JT Lindsey, the 4-star running back out of Alexandria, is in. Carlos Kroon, the interior offensive lineman from Arkansas, the 4-star, is in. You can go to louisianasports.net if you want to track this all day. Hunt's doing a real good job of staying right on top of this. As soon as the signees come in, they're posted along with the unsigned players. So what's LSU waiting on right now? DJ Pickett is the biggest name remaining in the class, a cornerback from Florida. He has a ceremony at his high school at 2:00. He's still expected to sign with LSU. If he doesn't, you'll know because the city will be on fire, but he is expected to sign. Jakeem Stewart, the big defensive lineman from New Orleans, is got a ceremony at noon at Carr. Most of the crystal ball expert guys, including Shea Dixon, believe that he is headed to USC. And then at 4:00, 5-star offensive lineman Solomon Thomas, who's been committed to Florida State for over a year, but reportedly is not all that pleased that they have changed offensive staff. A lot of people think that he is coming to LSU. That is at 4:00. So the three big commitment or the three big ceremonies that you're waiting on if you're LSU: noon for Jakeem Stewart, lean USC right now. All of this could change. All of this could change. All of this could change. But 12:00, Jakeem Stewart looks like he's headed to USC. 2:00, DJ Pickett looks like he's headed to LSU. 4:00, Solomon Thomas. Very good chance that LSU is going to flip him from Florida State. So that's where we are for National Signing Day right now. LSU's class, which after the defection of Cade Phillips, moved to number 8 in the country, probably end up being somewhere in that area at the end of the day today. So that's where we're at.
How many do you think they're going to sign today?
I think if Thomas ends up coming in, you will end up signing 24, I believe is the number.
24.
3.
How many think you end up their playing careers at LSU?
16, 25.
6?
Less than half. Less than half. And I think
less than half.
I think that's
that ain't no doubt less than half.
And I think that's a static number across the board in college football. It used to be if you could get pre-transfer portal, if you could get 65, roughly 2/3 of your class to their senior year, and if say 2/3 of those guys became starters eventually, you'd had a pretty good class. If 40% of your
contributors, 40% hits,
40% hits, you were doing well. Okay. That's become so much more difficult to hit because if a guy hits in his 4th or 5th year, becomes a 1-year starter, but before that didn't play a whole lot, it's almost always at another school. Mm-hmm. And now you benefit from some of those. Some of those guys come in.
It's not just LSU, obviously.
No,
I mean, but I'm just saying how the enthusiasm is You were trying to give psychological advice to the fans, to try and treat signing date, football signing date like
psychiatrists
baseball.
make good money. I'm looking for a side hustle. Yeah.
Okay, well then there's some radio shows that are therapeutic.
Yeah.
And Dr.
I
Laura,
host one after the game for like the last 25
Dr.
years.
Laura, Dr. Hanny. So it's just it ain't gonna be a whole lot of them that stick around, no matter where they're signing. I mean, you name it, all the big boys in the SEC. So
here's my the positive outlook on this class. There are already 3 defensive linemen on this class, and 2 more that are going to sign this afternoon. We think that are going to be under the tutelage of Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples. These are the guys that they recruited, that they picked, and we've seen them develop guys. Okay. If you say, well, who got better on LSU's team this year? You start with Braden Swinson. You start with Savion Jones. I mentioned Dominique McKinley yesterday in second class. Those kids made a move. That defensive line is on the move. They signed some guys, okay, that they wanted and they can develop. Same thing at corner. Although losing Phillips was a huge hit, these are Corey's guys. These are the guys he wanted. Those corners, I'm not going to tell you that they all got better in the secondary this year, but Zy Alexander was a pretty solid player. Stamps was kind of hot and cold. I think Woodland's got a tremendous future. They were weak at safety. That's something that they got to talk about, but these are some guys that Corey recruited that he really wants, and Pickett can be a star. There seem to be enough offensive linemen in this class. They could pick up another one in Solomon Thomas, and that's a good thing. They need to really look at what they're teaching up front. This was not a good year for the offensive line. You got a couple of wide receivers in this class that could pop, and you got one really potentially special skill position player in Harlem Berry. All that's good. What concerns me about this class? Well, when Jared DiNardo was here, I'm going to use an analogy, and you'll remember this. DiNardo made such a big deal out of keeping the in-state talent in Louisiana, and he did a good job with a lot of that. But I can remember sitting down after a long day at the Bash, Jimmy, and we'd pour beer, and we'd sit there, and the rhetoric would be, we got everybody we wanted except, and then you'd name like 2 or 3 guys.
Uh-huh.
And for DiNardo, the problem was that those 2 or 3 guys were Ed Reed or Reggie Wayne,
right,
or Travis Minor, or Raynoch Thompson, guys that ended up being really, really big impact players. Yeah, Roland Seymour was another one that went to Florida State. Jarvis Rito was another one that went to Tennessee.
Ward Manuel.
Yeah, it's funny how things come back around. And it was those 1 or 2 guys per year that ended up being the difference makers. And so the fear is that if in 2 years you're ready to make a real run, then Kelly's got all of the guys. You'll say, well, I got everybody they want except Cade Phillips. What if Cade Phillips is an all conference defensive back? What if I got everybody you want except Bryce Underwood? Underwood's the guy that is in the Heisman race at that point. So that's going to be a concern every year, that the one that got away from you, and one or 2 get away from you every year, that those guys go on to be stars somewhere else. Stewart is one of those guys. He's probably going out to Southern Cal. I think there's red flags all over the kid's case. We've talked about him, but it doesn't mean that he's not a tremendously high ceiling recruit. When they lost Joe McKnight out of New Orleans, and he went out to Southern Cal, and McKnight had a really, really good career out there. They would have loved to have had it. He wasn't Reggie Bush. They were touting him as the next Reggie Bush.
He had a good career.
But he had a really good career. He wasn't Reggie Bush, but Reggie Bush one of the top 6 or 8 guys in the history of college football.
Who is Reggie Bush?
Right.
Yeah.
But McKnight was really good out there, and he had a nice pro career. God rest his soul. Those are the ones that you're like, man, the guy leaves you in state and goes out of state somewhere and becomes a star. Those are the ones that aggravate you.
Don't you think that LSU, though, at those times, every one of the guys you name, Joe McKnight went to USC, Seymour went to Florida State, Thompson went to Tennessee, Rito went to Michigan.
Rito went to Tennessee.
Rita went to Tennessee. I said Ward Manuel. I meant to say went to Michigan.
Anthony Thomas.
Anthony
went to
Thompson.
Michigan.
Was it Anthony Thompson?
Thomas, the
Thomas,
running back.
yes.
Yeah.
Anthony Thompson was the running back for Indiana.
Yes.
Did he play for the Saints for a little bit?
For a short period of time, yeah.
Yeah. So he was the running back last time Indiana beat Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were doing that on that game day. But anyway, those were perceived those were stronger programs.
Yes,
than LSU.
Absolutely.
That's changed now.
Mm-hmm.
So like, well, man, when JT Curtis, we're not gonna get guys out of there. Well, JT Curtis was kind of steering them to other places that were, more high profile. That's not the case. LSU has won a lot. Yes, there's, but that aspect of the recruiting, we can get to the money now.
Yeah.
Now, but as far as that, Charlie, they've won a lot. Those things have changed a lot as far as LSU's branding, what they have to sell, the SEC being so far and above and beyond everybody else as far as how attractive it is. This is the best route to go to the NFL. And so that's the thing. To just paint the history on some of the examples that you're putting out.
It becomes now a matter of where do you want to, I'm not even going to call it resources. I just where do you want to spend your money? They've got a pool of money. They've got to decide where they want to spend it. Do they want to spend it on a certain high school guy? Do they want to take a pile of money and put it towards a quarterback, or do they want to take that money and chop it up and send it to different spots? Would they rather spend it? Here's the criticism of the last 24 hours. I've heard this a lot. It's like, well, last year they said that they didn't want to go heavy with their money in the portal and they were going to save it for the high school kids. Well, you've lost 3 high school kids in the last, week, and they were all high profile kids. Well, what you say, now you're saying, oh, well, our money's going to be diverted into the portal. Well, make up your mind, or maybe it changes from year to year.
Well, but no, the portal is your reset. That's the way it should be. And I mean, okay, well, we had this money budgeted here for these kids. We lost these prospects. That gives us more in the portal. We're gonna be more aggressive. That kind of makes sense, huh? That's the way it should work. Huh?
I can make the argument either
way. Now, but the other thing though is the portal is player ready. These guys are from Dominic McKinley.
Yeah.
How highly recruited was he?
Very highly recruited.
Okay. How late did it take for him to kind of have a little impact?
Second half of the season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But
and he's higher rated than most. I mean, he came along. Some of those guys don't pan out till their second or third year.
Yeah. You a lot of times you don't. Most of the time, the majority of the time, I'll say, you're not getting anything out of a true freshman.
Now, the problem with the portal is this is a kid. You've seen him play at the college level, so but he's leaving the other place for a reason. Now, could be a completely legitimate reason. Jaden Daniels left Arizona State. Why? Because he wanted to play with higher level talent, and he's not the number 2 pick in the draft if he doesn't throw to Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. That's a good reason. Joe Burrow, he left Ohio State. Why? Well, he was behind a guy who had thrown 50 touchdown passes, so he couldn't get on the field. Okay, that's a good reason. All right. There's a lot of guys that get in the transfer portal for bad reasons. Oh, I'm not being used right. I'm not being coached right. No, a lot of times it's you. So you gotta do your due diligence when you get into the portal. It can go either way. Just remember, those guys are leaving those other places for a reason, and you need to know what that reason is.
And like Cignetti's success was he went to small programs that guys had played.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we've gone to some small programs where guys have played and they just couldn't hang in the SEC.
Right.
There have been a couple from the Ivy League, whether it's a skill position or an offensive lineman that had their troubles, right?
Yes.
And there's been some that can hang. I mean,
Zy Alexander played at Southeastern. Was a really good player for LSU the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. There's the complete. It's become more sophisticated. You have blended in, sort of Major League Baseball because there is no cap. Okay, so even the Yankees have so much money. Even the Mets have so much money. Yeah. It allows you for more mistakes. It allows you to outbid for some. There are some prospects that I think the Dodgers are the best modern day example. They're the ones that are, come on, they signed Ohtani. They're spending more than anybody on an annual basis the last 10 years.
They're
So
trying to sign Juan Soto. Goodness.
why not? I mean,
I know. I mean, if you
they
have
brought
no,
in Freddie Freeman, they brought in
Yeah,
Mookie Betts. I mean, why not?
if you got the money, yeah.
Why not?
sure.
They brought in Ohtani. I mean, just their top three Hall of Fame, top of the lineup. None of them started there.
No.
Okay,
They
so I
didn't.
mean, and they won this year. They're always in position, but you're not. The best example of that right now is Texas. Texas is the Dodgers, but you're not the Mets. That probably is Ohio State. I don't know, or Alabama, but you are the Padres.
Yeah, you can get in there and you can get your guys. You can't get them all. but you
Padres
can
knocked out the Dodgers last year.
Yeah.
And the one thing you do have to sell is, I mean, oh, man, the last three because when the money is comparable, then it comes to the traditional recruiting things. What program you're most comfortable with? Where's your best fit? There's it closer to home? All the traditional things. But the other thing that stands too is when the money is the same, and it comes down to, no, Kentucky shouldn't get a kid that LSU's getting. So LSU's still far and above a lot of them, but there's some that they're just going to get outbid by Texas and flip a 5-star DB 2 days before signing date.
And that's happened.
Because
that's happened in the past.
and
It'll
because
happen again.
Texas now has. What was it happening when they didn't have the SEC to sell these prospects that they were going to be able to play in the SEC? Well, they got it now.
Yeah,
So-
yesterday sucked. You had a 5-star leave you or 4-star, 5-star, whatever, leave you and go to Texas. Today you might get one from Florida State to come to you. So,
but you can't stop the process. You
No.
can't stop working these relationships and doing the traditional things, because when the money, you can become. I mean, Underwood. I mean, that was just if this was Michigan last year, they're not desperate. They're on their way to win the number 1 seed in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
They're not. Everything's fine at Michigan. So, but the timing hurt a lot there. There's some other figure, but we're not gonna. They were now more going to South Florida. I'm not coming back without you. I mean, what's it cost?
Yeah.
I mean, but LSU can't stop trying to do this, because quarterbacks go all over the country. So but as far as life or death, here we are. It's a piece, and I think it's a big piece, because this roster is not on the talent level where it should be the past couple of years. It's not.
it's not.
And so this is a part of it. So it's important, but it's not life or death, because there are a lot of other pieces, to this whole thing. We're live here at Snow City. We're on this patio today. It's nice
Fabulous.
over here.
Yeah.
Got a big shells over here today, man. The banquet rooms over here at Snow's during the month of December are jam-packed. So it's every day, and they have the flexibility to convert to different sizes or expand to accommodate all sizes. So, yeah, this just too late to schedule your holiday party over here at Snow's this year. But during the holiday season, Todd and Candy here most of the month of December, and pretty much all the month of December, and making sure everything's going great. And it's it's got the wreaths out over here in the spirit of the holiday season. And it's a climate control patio. It was a little cool when we got here, had on the heaters. Now it's warmed up. We turn them off. Steaks, I love coming over here kind of on a Sunday night. I love coming over here and getting a steak and a nice bottle of wine, bottles or glasses bottle of wine. They got great selection over here. You know what they do, Charlie? They keep their premium wines in a wine cooler. Yes, a red wine cooler at the perfect temperature. 64 degrees, something like 62 degrees, something like that. It makes a difference. So the little details to make sure everything is done. I love it over here. Seasonal cocktails over here, but steaks to hamburger steak to oysters or shrimp casino. They have a menu that is sure to please anybody's satisfaction. So come by and check us out. Snow's Seafood and Steak for over 50 years. Gonzales Airline Highway at Highway 74.
Live at Snows, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
If you're looking for some time away, but you don't want to go too far, the Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a beautiful escape in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites overlooking the gorgeous LSU lakes. Whether you're here to shop or stay, the Cook Hotel at LSU is where you can find it all. Stay for the weekend, come by, grab lunch, or shop at their alumni gift shop. Visit thecookhotel.com to book your stay today. That's thecookhotel.com.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
It's no secret today's diesel isn't as good as it should be. Diesel lacks lubricity. That can lead to fuel system failure, costing thousands in repairs. But you can prevent those issues with Hot Shot Secret products. Clean injectors, boost cetane, increase fuel economy while adding 4 times more lubricity than the leading competitor. Claims proven by real-world use and confirmed by third-party ASTM testing. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Supreme Rice. We always ask you to support our Louisiana farmers. Well, Supreme Rice has a long history of working with those Louisiana farmers in developing and maintaining sustainable farming practices. And now their Climate Smart program supports farming practices that reduce methane emissions and support water conservation, positively impacting the longevity of rice farming for future generations. So the next time you shop for rice, make it Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to supremerice.com and look for the Climate Smart logo on Supreme Rice bags coming soon.
Winter is coming, Baton Rouge. Stay warm and cozy with a new energy-efficient Rheem HVAC system from Capital City Comfort. This November, take advantage of special financing and expert installation on all new units. Visit CapitalCityComfortVR.com today. Your comfort is our priority.
Did you know that over 50 million people are missing teeth and experience discomfort and embarrassment due to dentures that just don't fit? We have a solution to transform your life in one day. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadvan. At Fusion Implant Center, we have witnessed life-changing transformations of so many patients, even those patients who were told that they couldn't be helped.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee painless and cost-effective procedures. We are the experts and teach this new technology all over the country.
The Fusion Implant Center, with its team of experts and state-of-the-art operating rooms, is conveniently located in one facility. No procedure is too complex for us. Every patient is a candidate. Let us give you back your confidence and smile.
Call today or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Don't go one more day feeling insecure. Join the over 30,000 who have transformed their smile and enriched their lives in one single day.
Christmas carols with Jake and James of Trash Rangers.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose like our red cans.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, the new LouisianaSports.net, plus new Handycast up at YouTube right now. LSU basketball with an 85-75 win against Florida State last night. Tigers broke open a close game early in the second half. They went out to 8-0 run to open the second half. Jimmy, if there was one thing that struck me about most of this game, especially in the second half, is that LSU kept attacking. They kept going.
That's how they play.
Yeah, they kept going to the goal. They kept attacking. I thought Jordan Sears and Cam Carter, especially, they shot the ball well in the second half too, of course. But I thought they kept attacking. They got to the free throw line a lot, and I thought that was one of the big themes of the game, is that they were really in attack mode. And I thought defensively, I thought Jai Bailey did a real nice job on Watkins. Number one, he made him work for every shot that he got. The guy averages 17 points a game. He got close to his average, but he had to work to get it. He didn't make a three-pointer. He didn't live on the line last night. And I thought that, Damian Collins really gave him a boost with his interior defensive effort. He had a handful of blocks and altered some other shots. Nice win for LSU last night.
Yeah, it was – what impressed me was just the overall just kind of sitting back with not – we're not a play on the game. We're just kind of, I don't have, big aspirations for LSU's team this year. They're better. But the level of play was pretty good. Both teams are starting. I mean, look, man, it's with that shot clock now. I mean, you have to, and kids want to play for that. And LSU, how many did they play last night, Charlie?
They played 10, but Jalen Reed left the game after 2 minutes. They're calling it a sprained knee. It's a big loss for LSU if he's out any amount of time. But so they played 10, counting him.
Givens played 4 minutes, but they want to play about 9. I mean, they're going to rotate. I mean, they've done this with this is his style of play. Mm-hmm. He wants to, even when they had less talent on their roster, that they pushed the envelope. I was like, man, do you have that strong of a roster where you play in this type of style? That's what he wants to play, and he's going to rotate, and he's going to keep and they're going to play that style. And it's not really, it's pretty common in college basketball these days, and pace and space. And even with LSU's, some of their players, they will pull it when they're hot. They will pull it when they're not. And so, especially the little guard who he got hot in that spurt when he kind of stretched out their lead, and then he kept taking quick shots even when he had cooled off. But anyway, this is it was a Florida State. The game against Florida was outclassed, and I was like, man, they're down. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're a top sort of 75 team. And with 360 Division I teams, top 75 ain't bad. It's not a Leonard Hamilton Sweet 16 team. What we've seen a lot in his days at Tallahassee. He's kind of past his prime, and you almost feel like the days are numbered with him.
There's been retirement rumors for 3 years.
Yeah,
now,
it just kind of surprised he's actually still there. To be honest,
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But LSU, it's a decent win, and they better pile up the wins because the SEC. This was part of a cool couple of day SEC-ACC challenge, and for Greg Sankey last night, same old. I mean, wait a minute. All right, and look, when we're talking about the last team into the college football playoff now, everybody has some warts.
Yeah, you're not perfect.
Okay,
we're not leaving out of 13 of those teams here.
This is very similar to the selection process for basketball. Okay, all the teams should have had better resumes, but they don't. But Alabama got the benefit of the doubt. In the end, they got the benefit. Okay, we're gonna go head to head when it's the 3 SEC teams. All right, they're gonna head to head. And then we're gonna go record against the top 25 when it's them versus Miami. There you go. Miami, you heard more, Manuel? 0-1. 0-1 against the top 25. 0-1. And who else is 0-1 against the top 25? Your number 3 seed.
Indiana. Yeah.
No. The team that flipped the team that flipped your 5-star.
Texas.
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah.
They all.
I bet you Indiana is too.
They did Alabama jump into Texas?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't jump Texas. No, they didn't jump Indiana or Penn State either, who I think have the same record.
But anyway, 9-1 for the SEC and the ACC challenge.
And who lost? Kentucky.
Kentucky. There you go, Otterlocks. That was a
Yeah.
hit, 4-2 night. But they 9-1.
Yeah. And that's
9-1 is, I mean, of these ACC Big 10 Challenge, SEC Big 12 Challenge, these challenges, I don't ever remember a 9-1, bro.
No, I don't either. Look, LSU is right now 45 in the Ken Palm and 47.
Are they really?
Yeah.
47 in any team?
And 47 in the net. And
That's bubblicious.
I'm sorry, 46.
Okay,
46.
so what? That's bubblicious, man.
Yeah, it is. But let me tell you, it's 13th in the SEC in the net and 12th in the Ken Palm. So that just to give you an idea how deep the league is, okay?
They're going to be, you play 18 in a league?
Yeah. 8 and 10 will get you in.
8 and 10's a lock.
Well, 7. The next thing is 7 and 11. I don't think you get into 7.
Here's
and 11.
here's where the strength of your conference is being established.
Yeah.
Right now, when you go 9-1 against a Power 4 league, this is where, I mean, no, you might have a 7 and 11.
I'm not going to rule it out.
Oh,
I'm not going to rule it out.
You put it. I think they'll get a 7 and 11 in.
I can't tell you you're wrong.
I mean, they're crushing it. It is loaded. The holiday tournaments in this challenge. Once conference play starts, you're done playing non-conference. Your strength of conference is set. You just beat each other up. Okay, I mean, well, the LSU went up, but I mean, but now is the time where you're establishing how deep, how many at-larges you're going to get from your conference right now. And they are slamming it. They got some good ones tonight. The big boys, North Carolina and Duke. That's what you start with when you start with that league, okay? But they got Alabama and Auburn coming to town.
Yeah. It's almost a detriment that LSU plays the top 4 teams in the SEC all at home. You'd almost rather play those on the road and play some of the middle of the pack teams.
Like Sunbelt Billy got to win one, bro.
Yeah, you do.
He won his one. He won 2.
The win is a quad 2 win, and this is why the bracketologists have said LSU needs to win these non-conference games that are Q1 and Q2. They got one Q1 left to be at SMU. That's why, because once you get into the league, 8 and 10 is going to be really hard to get to, and it's going to be really good. So pile up some of these wins in the non-conference. They've done that. They've got 3 Q2 wins.
They're not going 500 in the league this year.
That's what I'm saying. 8 and 10.
But they're better.
Yeah.
This team's better than last year, and they're going to have way more of, if they continue to take in none of those bad losses, but they continue to pile up some of the games they're supposed to win. And
Max is so happy. Max is so happy.
He should be.
He did.
I mean, he's a loyal fan, and it's 2 things. It's not at the pace I like. Okay, I'm pleased with. All right, but it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's moving in the right direction, and so you're becoming better. You're far away from where you strive to be, okay? Because in the SEC, LSU's got a lot more history than a lot of those teams. LSU doesn't have the coach. They don't have Bruce Pearl. They don't have Nate Oates. Those they're just Chris Beard. I mean, he's not that. Is he getting better? Is he learning how to recruit at a power 4 level? Seems like it. He's getting better.
Getting there.
Is he getting better at the limited resources? At least turning your nose up or embracing them? He's getting there. So, I mean, OJT on the job training. So, I mean, when you get a lifetime contract when you come in, I mean, you can take your time. So, anyway, but the level of the entertainment value is better too. That was fun to watch.
It was very.
That was fun to watch.
Good basketball game.
Yeah. Don't forget our friends over at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of South Louisiana for over 50 years, including their newest branch at Burbank and Blue Bonnet. Our great team of bankers at United Community Bank: Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, and Prentice Wilkes. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Snows, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Struggling to lose weight? Feeling overwhelmed by diets and exercise plans that just don't work? There's a better way. Unique Physique offers weight loss injectable medications. Semaglutide, now only $195 a month, and tirzepatide is only $325 a month. The lowest prices in town. No contracts, no gimmicks, just real results without the hassle. Visit uniquephysique.com or call today to schedule a consultation and unlock your weight loss potential. Unique Physique, your weight loss solution.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Do you have hot concrete around your pool, harsh concrete that hurts to walk on, or grease stains in your garage? We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana can handle it all. We work with you to not only get what you need, but what you want. Locally owned and family operated with 10 years proven experience with construction and concrete coatings. From commercial to industrial, we do it all with the best warranty, ASTM proven products, and the best prices. Check us out at WeDoConcreteCoatingsLLC.com. We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana.
Call my dad today. 225-400-3835.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get a tax deduction. Visit sbdpbr.org.
After performing 30,000 dental implant procedures, the doctors here at Fusion Implant Center have witnessed life-changing transformation of so many patients. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadban. Are you one of the 50 million people who are missing teeth and wearing dentures that just don't fit and are uncomfortable? Well, in just one day, you can have permanent teeth with a perfect smile.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee your procedures to be done correctly, painlessly, and cost-effectively. We are the experts who teach these procedures all over the country.
This team of experts and our state-of-the-art operating rooms are conveniently located in one facility. This allows your treatment to be coordinated and can be started in as little as 10 to 14 days.
So don't go one more day feeling insecure or missing out on the ability to enjoy smiling and eating. Transform your smile in one day at the Fusion Implant Center. Call today or visit fusionimplantcenter.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Coming out and sit with us here at Snow Seafood and Steak. We're on the outside patio enjoying the great weather today. Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway 74.
Randy, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. It sounds like you guys are enjoying weather, and actually the weather isn't too bad here.
Randy, so Charlie gets on, and our buddy Hold the Mayo, he's a social media influencer. He's a red beans and rice connoisseur, and he's just a New Orleanian, and he's a comedian basically, and very entertaining. But when he handicaps, he gets mad and he gets reactionary, and he has a little list, and he puts him on his list. Never betting his team again. Okay,
His Terminex
Randy,
Post-it notes.
Randy, when you were leaving the Denver Stadium, what do they call it these days? Where the Broncos play?
Empower Field.
That's correct. Empower Field.
Okay, all right. I'm glad you and Charlie know that crap. All right, so when you're leaving Empower Field, did you have a list and said, because it's a professional bet, Charlie's never going to bet the Titans again. We'll go back to Titans. All right. It didn't work out for us too good this Sunday, but anyway.
Or the last 10
Are you
Sundays.
ever going to bet an over involving Jameis Winston again?
It depends on the number of reports and,
That's my man. That's my God. That's my God. If they put the number high enough, whatever. But Randy, it had to cross you. I'm thinking this guy is going to make it happen either way. I mean, boy, I'm picking on you. I had the under. I gave it out. I quoted you, on our pick seg at the end of Matt's show. But I mean, we never had a chance. And Jameis, boy, and everybody says, well, that's what you get with Jameis. Okay, but this was even Jameis on steroids. Usually it's 350 and a couple interceptions, a couple touchdowns, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
This was 480, 2 pick sixes, and then the backdoor cover when you only need a field goal on 1st and goal for the 2 up, stares down a linebacker.
He threw for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns to the Broncos.
Guess what?
He doesn't play for the Broncos.
His completed passes to both teams were more ever in the history of the game. So don't tell me, though, this is just Jameis, because no, Jameis has ever even done this. Actually, nobody in the history of the game has ever done this. But Randy, I know I went to sleep when I watched my Game of Thrones or replay, and I was glad to see them cutting up people left and right, because I felt cut up on that game, because I had a middle -0.5 on Denver closing the teaser and +6.5, and the under was never done. So I felt cut up myself. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, definitely. And we're seeing the reflection of the total this week. It was supposed to be 41 against the Steelers. Now it's up to 44, 45. It's getting a little too high again if you want to fly back into the.
I'm with Charlie on this one. I'm out.
These two teams played, it was a lower scoring, more Brown Steelers type game. It just happens to go that way. You never know till the game kicks off, and then you see it go that way. And of course, you always got in-game betting too to make up for some of that and some of the game flows. So
was Cleveland was Cleveland +6.5 the worst beat of the year in the NFL?
I think it's up there with the Hail Mary, with the Hail Mary with the Redskins there.
Oh, that decided the spread too?
The Chicago one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that decided the spread, or the Tennessee game where they outgained the Bears the whole game, and Levi's threw the
Levi's Levis. yes. The man isn't his coffee guy. Yes.
I think it would be them three. I mean, that'd be a good poll probably for you guys to put out there. What's a worst beat this year in the NFL? And them 3 games probably come to mind for me.
We'll get Max on it. Max loves polls. So there you go. Which is it? The Jameis non-cover. This was a series of things. This was, how can you get past the Hail Mary? The Hail Mary is the Hail Mary. But, when all you need is a field goal to cover. Jameis, could you, throw it? He'd throw it away. And I love Aikman and Buck, and you were at the game. And they say, and he talks about his time at, Sean Payton. And, man, his time down there with Sean Payton, fix those things. Fix his mistakes. Oh, really? Bite your tongue. No, this game ain't over. So anyway, wow. But do you know the other thing? Denver started out this season as, hey, and the Chargers, I think Denver and the Chargers have the same approach. Their rosters are not where they want to be in Harbaugh's first year and Peyton's second year. But they're going to make bad teams beat themselves before they beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. And he was really spoon-feeding Knicks. Man, Knicks is not an under, and the Broncos is not an under team right now, Randy. He is letting him throw a lot, but also they are like on hyper speed. It's like back when Tennessee and Hooker were running, man. Charlie, I mean, he's up at the line, and you want this. This is a good thing for a rookie quarterback. He's at the line with 22 seconds every play and snapping it with 15 to 18 seconds. I mean, and they're taking shots. They're throwing downfield.
Way more than they were.
As opposed to, man, I'm going to throw underneath. Don't beat yourself. We're going to try and get through this thing and steal it from the Jets.
And I think Sutton's a true number one.
There's chemistry there. Yeah, there's chemistry there. You agree with that, Randy?
Yeah, I mean, Payton's letting him do more. He's getting more used to the offense there, and they're limited on weapons. They can still run the ball and grind the clock with their good running backs, good decent run blocking offensive line. So they still got that option, but he's giving them more time, and this Denver team looks like it could make some noise maybe even in the playoffs.
You think so? More than just make it. Now you think they got a little bit of a fighting chance? Really?
Yeah, the only really bad game they had was against Baltimore. That was only a really bad loss. They should have beat Kansas City. If you want to match it up there, against other playoff teams. So, I think they'll definitely be competitive. Probably be, whatever they are as an underdog, probably be worth a bet.
Payton likes his playbook
to win that game or have a chance.
We know that, Charlie, and Sean Payton is calling way more of his playbook than he was earlier in the year. All right, big dog, Charlie and I in a group, man, we're going down to Beau Rivage this weekend, so we are all going to be asking, listen, who's McKay got? Who's Randy got? So let's go. Give us your top three in the NFL this week.
Well, we'll go right away here to Thursday Night Football, the big game of the week, I think. That are the Chargers and Chiefs. Of course, I don't have nothing on that game yet, but I like the Green Bay Packers here getting 3.5. Pretty equally rested, both teams, Thursday and Friday game, crazy game there for the Lions. The end of Eberflus, unfortunately. I was hoping Chicago would keep him as a head coach forever, but that's not going to happen. And then, of course, Green Bay had their, pretty easy winner there on Friday. That was a pretty good game. We said the Dolphins are fish out of the water. So, they played earlier. Detroit won a pretty easy game, 24-14. But if you remember, Green Bay was banged up in that game. Now the other side, Detroit is banged up in this game with their defensive injuries.
Right.
And we're going to see Green Bay probably be able to exploit that more than any other team here with their run game and their play action. So I think getting anything over 3 here is a good bet. So Green Bay Packers for me.
Okay. All right. Let's move on past Thursday, the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, teams have been pretty hot for me, and I'm going to stay with them. Getting here a big number here. We got there last week against the Buccaneers. Carolina Panthers here getting 13. We saw a lot of improvement with this team with Canales and Bryce Young, and getting receivers back. Thielen makes a big difference in that offense. And that rookie Leggett is a decent wide receiver. So, Chuba Hubbard had the bad fumble, but he's been a very good running back.
He's been good for him. I know. Yeah, minus the fumble. Yeah.
Yeah. A little worried about this Philly team, but coming off that physical game against Baltimore, could see a slow starting performance from them. Even though Carolina's not the greatest run defense. And their injury report doesn't look too good for the Eagles here. They could be missing some guys. So getting plus 13 here, I see his value, he's hanging in there, and I think Carolina gets a cover in this one.
All right. And the other thing, too, is I know Dallas, but still Dallas, when they play Dallas, they don't like them. Prime time against Washington, prime time against the Rams, and in a big spot against Baltimore. It's almost like a college angle, a little bit of an exhale spot here for the Eagles as double-digit favorites at home against Carolina. Who else, Randy?
Yeah, I'm going to go against the Bills here. Tough turnaround game here after that Sunday night win. Physical win versus the 49ers. 49ers started out pretty well, but then injuries mounted up with their backfield, and then they couldn't run the ball and do anything. And then Josh Allen, crazy weather game, and made his moves and won that game pretty easy. And I think the Rams will have some success running the ball here. Buffalo gives up a lot of yards on the ground. Their opportunistic defense, but can they turn over Stafford and company here? Might be a tough task to ask. And this Rams young defense, improving a little bit here, and probably hopefully slow down Josh Allen and company here and keep this game close. So getting 4.5, I see his value with the Rams team that's still in it. Going back, and you guys saw him play in the Dome last week. Close game. At least the Saints got there for a teaser, which was nice, and that helped out a little bit. But this Rams team is a tough team to figure out, but getting points at home here, I think, is value.
Yes, we had that teaser, and we had the Rams as well. And the Rams, boy, the Saints had dominated the first half, but they only had 6 points. The Rams dominated the second half. They had a lot more. And, boy, you could see that first drive of the Rams. They started running the ball. McVay wants to run the ball, and they were having a lot more success in that second half. And the Bills are susceptible to a low running game. So, and that's one of my angles, too, the standalone games in the NFL. When a team looks so good and the Bills looked really good, kind of fade them the next week. Anything else beside those, Randy?
Yeah, kind of a short card here with the 6 buys. So
right.
Not even a teaser option for me. Seattle's sitting there. You could tease them, but there's no partner this week. I guess if you got any sites that can do open teasers, I guess do it with something in the future. But
we got that. Yes.
A lot of places can't do that, but there's some places that can do that. I'd probably tease the Seahawks up there to 8.5. I see that game being close, even though that's been a home-and-home series, and the Cardinals probably might find a way to win. Of course, they found a way to cover for us last week, thankfully, and that helped out. And then we got our favorite, the big FCS playoffs coming up here, and
you got any picks this week?
And now we got a full card here, and you got the champions going against each other, Montana, South Dakota State here, and a big spread here. I think Montana will cover this game here, getting 23. So I'll give out that one early.
Montana or Montana State?
Not too many lines out on this game. Montana against South Dakota State.
Okay, plus a 23 against South Dakota State. All right, Randy, thank you. We appreciate it. We up against the break. Charlie went on and on about recruiting today, so I apologize about that.
All right, no problem.
Hey, but look, Charlie's not betting the Titans anymore. Randy is. All right, so there we go. We need a little diversity in my weaponry. All right, so thank you, Randy. Great stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Sounds good. Good luck to everybody out there.
Live at Snows, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodeau Store's got gifts for everybody on your list this holiday season, especially if Dad likes to cook. The McWare & Lodge cookware, cast iron pots, roll around combos for all of the cooks available right now for you. Tools and garden supplies for the home improvement experts, and great Cypress furniture, some unique items, swings, rockers, gliders, all available at the Thibodeau Store. Power tools, hand tools, lots of gifts, and of course, always that expert advice when you're looking to have some home improvements done, you're looking to save some money. Let them walk you through it step by step. It's better than a YouTube video. It's something you're not going to get from the big box stores. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. Online with delivery available at ThibodeauStore.com.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Keep your business looking pristine year-round with Cajun Soft Wash. Their gentle, effective soft washing cleans every surface safely, maintaining your property's value and appeal. Trusted in Baton Rouge for over 10 years. Visit CajunSoftWash.com today.
There's more than one way to listen to ESPN Baton Rouge: on the radio at 104.5 and 104.9 and 98.1 HD2. Online at 104.5ESPN.com and with the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
National Signing Day news coming in a flare. Oregon just flipped one of the top players in the country, 5-star corner. Ohio State had the top 2 corners in the country committed, according to some lists, at least according to the ESPN list. DJ Pickett was, I think, number 3 there, but he's number 1 in others. So it depends on what rating service you look at. And then out of Georgia, Trevor Etienne, who has already transferred once in his college career in the SEC, is heading out again. He's put his name in the transfer portal. Hasn't played for Georgia since the loss to Ole Miss back at the beginning of November, and is running some off-the-field problems as well. So Etienne, who had just under 500 yards and 7 touchdowns for Georgia, won't be playing in the game this weekend, obviously, but hasn't played for Georgia for about a month. So just a little bit more news. At the top of the hour, Jakeem Stewart down at Carr. They've got a ceremony planned, and we'll let you know what happens there. Again, Southern Cal looks like the leader there. And at 2 o'clock, Brian Kelly will have a press conference. We'll air that in its entirety during the Hunt Show at 104.5 ESPN, so you can listen to that starting at 2 o'clock. Take our break. Scott Rabal from The Advocate joins us when we return here at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at 74 in Gonzales. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
It's time for the 13th annual Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle, Thursday, December 12th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Perkins Road location. Ticket sales are underway right now at both Calandro's locations, and all proceeds benefit St. Lillian Academy and the 4 Kids Foundation. It's the Calandro's 13th annual Rare Whiskey Raffle, Thursday, December 12th at the Perkins Road location. This will be something fun you do not want to miss.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Electric Man of Baton Rouge is here to help with 24/7 residential and commercial electrical services. With years of experience, Electric Man aims to deliver fast and dedicated electrical services without compromising safety, quality, and integrity. Licensed and insured professionals to do the job for you worry-free. Electric Man offers guaranteed appointment times and free estimates, offering veteran and senior discounts also. Find Electric Man at electricmanbatonrouge.com to schedule your guaranteed appointment time. electricmanbatonrouge.com, 225-800-7065.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore. Available at great local retailers.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
From timeless jewelry to unique designs inspired by Louisiana's wildlife and culture, Mimosa Handcrafted helps you celebrate every special moment. Don't just give a gift, give a memory. Visit mimosahandcrafted.com or stop by today.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at 74 in Gonzales. Again, as soon as a steward says something, we're monitoring that. We'll let you know officially. Here at Snow's, we're enjoying it.
Holiday season, man.
Holiday
Parking lot
season.
is full. It's the entire month of December over here. So what happened to the truck, Charlie?
Yeah, I
On
did see
highway.
that.
Got action, baby. We got action. Things are going on over here at Snow. So over 50 years, and love, man, it's too late to schedule your holiday party over here, but we're loaded down. We've got multiple banquet rooms. We can expand them or close it. We can handle all different sizes. Now, if you got big gatherings over here, you want to do your private Santa or whatever, what they call that thing, hidden Santa,
Secret Santa.
Secret Santa. Charlie used to hold court, Max, at the Guaranteed Secret Santa party thing. He's swapping working deals. Yeah, ho Hanny, man, in his element.
Wanted to get the lottery tickets,
but we're in our element over here in the spirit of the holiday season here at Snow Seafood and Steak. Let's talk to Mr. Todd, Miss Candy over here, the Sheets family, second generation family-owned restaurant at Snow Seafood and Steak. Did want to remind everybody that our friends over at Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Dana Brown and his specialized team of attorneys, the entire team at Dana Brown wants to wish you and yours happy holidays, Merry Christmas, ho Hanny, all the above. You get the holiday season, things happen. You or somebody you know gets in a little spot, needs some advice, needs that initial consultation, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com.
Let's bring in somebody who's always jolly during the holiday season, Scott Rabal from The Advocate. Rab, good afternoon. How are you?
Oh man, I'm just loving signing day. Of course, having signing days in the rearview mirror. I know we have two of them, of course. It's always fun.
Our nasty commentary, the tone to our commentary, we're really showing our age on this whole thing. But I mean, even a guy like Hester, I was listening this morning, but like, boy, this thing has really aged him. Because he's so young, but man, how things have changed since he was recruited, huh?
You know, it used to have a lot of juice. The bash was fun. I mean, it was
Bash had some juice, baby.
It was an exhausting day. When you finished it, man, you felt like, wow, okay, you've really gone through the ringer. Don't feel that way anymore. Scott, what are your thoughts about National Signing Day?
Well, it's there's two of them now, obviously, so that's changed. It used to be just in February. Now the coaches got what they wanted, the early signing period, and but it's also with the transfer portal and everything. I think everyone is right. Certainly when they're looking at LSU, how they do in bringing in high school talent is important, but this year, just about as important is going to be who they bring in the transfer portal. So the whole while it's big, and look, you don't want to diminish the signing of a Harlem Berry, obviously, who's the number one running back in the country, and you don't want to diminish the possible flip of a Solomon Thomas, who's a 5-star offensive lineman, and obviously Jakeem Stewart, as you mentioned. But it's incomplete. The grade is no matter what they get today, no matter what happens, who they lost, who they flipped, who whatever. It's going to be incomplete until we see how the things go in the transfer portal, which is just common sense. I mean, but it's clearly, to me, it seems like Brian Kelly has changed his tune from what it was, before, a year or so ago. That they've got to be, you're saying, very aggressive in the transfer portal, which they clearly weren't last year. It's a difference, and so that's all. Today is only part of the picture, where it used to be the whole picture.
I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I'll say it again. A year ago, he wasn't aggressive in the transfer portal. There was a big reason for that. They didn't want to upset the salary structure with what they had. It's salary structure. I'm sorry, that's what it is. With some of the guys that he had on the current team, you can't. First of all, there's nobody on this team that fits that bill that they had a year ago. And secondly, you can't really worry about it. You can't worry about hurt feelings. Okay. You gotta build your roster. And if you try to keep everybody happy, listen, the NFL has dealt with this for years. The quarterback makes more than the lineman, and the lineman makes more than the safety or whatever. You're going to have to, smooth egos. And that's probably as big a part of the job as anything right now, trying to keep them around. I'm looking forward, frankly, to the day, and I'm convinced this will happen inside the next legislative cycle, is that there'll be a cap, there'll be contracts, there'll be employees, and then there'll be a little bit more structure to all of this. Right now, there's none of that. I'm looking forward to when there is. You want to commit to a school, you sign a contract. If you want to break the contract, there's financial consequences to that, and and away we go. You want to be an employee? Be an employee. There's got to be a two-way street to that. But for the moment, we're in this system. So
wait. You saying financial? The players have to pay back, or they miss out on the remainder?
I don't know exactly how it's going to look, but I do think that there will be a time where you're signing player contracts within the next cycle. Yeah.
Why would I sign a contract when I got all the leverage? You're begging me.
You got to sign a contract. You got to play somewhere.
No, the national letter of intent.
Well, I think the national letter of intent, which is, basically obsolete.
Charlie, good luck. Okay. What are we watching this little film from this guy from Cars? Been to 3 different high schools. He'll probably be to 3 different schools, and they jump up. You're going to get you're going to get that guy to sign you a contract?
Yeah. I mean, you may not get that guy, but he's got to sign somewhere.
So he's going to pay you back. You're basically asking this kid for a buyout. So
I'm not saying that there's going to be buyouts.
You know what's coming to then, Charlie? Put it on your Christmas list. Shorter contracts for the coaches with not guaranteed contracts. That's coming too.
I think that there will be contracts, that there will be employment contracts before the end of the next legislative cycle. I believe that, but I could be wrong. Rab, what do you think from? Go ahead.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm just. I wonder if y'all think that it's. Does the in-state, the hometown discount, as they say, does that still play in anymore? Does it play in with I would think it did with a Brett Bordelon. Does it play in with an Aiden Anding? Does it play in with a Harlem Berry? That LSU, we certainly, the common wisdom is that LSU does not have the NIL bucks, the collective bucks that some other schools have. But they also don't have to fight with anyone in state, really. I mean, Tulane's been good lately, but it's still not the same thing.
No.
Does LSU have an advantage that maybe the Texas or Texas
when the other things are close, when the other things are close, when the money is close, when the program is close, when the other things are close? Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jimmy. I think that you still get a little bit of that, but I'll tell you this: whatever it is now, it's less than it was before the transfer portal.
Well, that's the theme of the day.
Yeah,
signing today is important. It's just not as important.
Yeah. Brad, from a talent standpoint, how do you feel about what they're adding, and to a lesser extent, what has left in the transfer portal so far?
Well, obviously they don't have the big name quarterback at this moment. That's probably going to have to come from the transfer portal. So that you always want to add a quarterback, but I like where they're filling in at the different spots of need on the lines. They got to continue to do well on both lines, and guys like Tyler Miller is one. I mentioned Brett Bordelon, Dylan. I wasn't saying his name right. Dylan Battle. Damian Shanklin. Damian Shanklin is an interesting one. This is another guy that Michigan tried to flip. He's from far away too. He's from Indianapolis. And they held on to him, edge rusher, 4-star player, Karius Kern. Y'all know how to pronounce his name? I'm sorry. I just have to spell him. I don't have to pronounce him.
That's what I've been saying, but I could be getting it wrong too.
Yeah. So Walter Mathis, Brandon Brown. I think they're filling in those spots very well. Needed a big time running back or two. Obviously, they're getting that. Obviously, they're going to have to go in the portal and get some guys at receiver. I think we're all kind of mystified by CJ Daniels' departure. So that's going to add a little pressure there. But I think where they were going into signing day, I think they're on the right track so far. And we're going to be very clear by the end of today what they still have to go get in the transfer portal. I think it's still a top 10 class. It's still a class that's very good. I know everyone's going to focus on Underwood's departure and the cornerback who's flipping back to Texas, Phillips. Those things will happen if they can get the Solomon Thomas flip at the 2 p.m., which is right when Brian Kelly's supposed to speak to us over at the football complex this afternoon. That's going to be very interesting timing. We're going to see, that'll maybe allow you to finish with them kind of positive, because everyone's dealing with this. All the schools are dealing with this. So it's good with a chance to be great, Charles. Right?
He
well played.
He listens to the show.
Well played.
The wide receiver. I did a column for LouisianaSports.net about what he should be shopping for in the transfer portal, and this was my list, and I did this prior to CJ Daniels. Was if Garrett, you got to go get a quarterback. If Garrett Nussmeier decides to go pro, then quarterback's number one on your list. But if Garrett Nussmeier decides to come back, I think the number one need on this team is to go get some veteran offensive linemen. Guys that have started somewhere in a power conference. They don't have to be all conference players or superstars, but you're starting with a very, very low base of experience on that offensive line next year, and I think that would be right at the top. But probably would need to move wide receiver up to the up higher. That Daniels is gone, and there are some that think that Chris Hilton may eventually end up in the transfer portal. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but the wide receivers got to move up. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. The portal opens on Monday officially. What do you think that Garrett Nussmeier is going to do? That's a popular topic here lately. I got basically cussed out on Lafayette Radio yesterday for suggesting that he might be a first-round pick one day. So what do you think?
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, this guy wore me out. You can't possibly think.
Does he want to bet?
I asked him that.
Good for you, Charles.
I asked him that. How much
Put your money where your mouth is,
baby. How much money
baby?
you got? What do you think he's going to do, Scott?
I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to come back. I think he's yes, he's played a little better the last couple of games, but overall, I think this year has shown with mechanics and with maybe a little decision making and stuff like that that he's got some things to work on, and you can point to the upside, not with his staff, of course, with Joe Burrow coming back, with his second year, and obviously with his staff, with Jaden Daniels coming back for a second year. Who Jaden, let's remember, he didn't think he was going to stay for 2 years, but it would look how it turned out for him. I'm not saying Garrett comes back, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, who knows, right? No one knew Jaden was going to be that, or Joe Burrow was even longer odds to be that. But I think he can have an improvement. Yes, be a first-round draft pick next year. I don't think he is this year. Although it's the only cause I say with all that is it's obviously not a great year for quarterbacks. I did a column. I'm working on stuff for the SEC championship game. I'm going to go cover that again this year. And those two quarterbacks, Beck and Ewers, they were Heisman candidates. They were primetime Heisman candidates. They were considered first-round draft picks early in the year, and neither one of them is considered a day one guy now, and through injuries with Ewers and Beck with the string where he threw hit a string of games where he threw more interceptions than touchdowns. But that can happen, and so it could be a year where he's like, oh, this is a good opportunity for me, but he's more of a project now to an NFL team. They're certainly not going to make him a first-round draft pick this year. So I think he'll come back. Yes, I do.
You're on your way to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. Who do you like in the rematch?
By the way, this might only be game 2 of a 3-game series between these two schools. If you see a lot of projections, whoever wins this game winds up in the Sugar Bowl and awaits the winner of the other, playing hosting Indiana, and then they could play again in the Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day in the quarterfinals. So there's nothing against the rules of that. I don't know if you've ever heard of teams playing 3 times in a season. I never have, but in college football. But we'll see how that shakes out. I don't know. Texas's offense just doesn't seem very dynamic to me. Georgia I think Beck is playing better again. Obviously, at times their defense seems to go away. I mean, but I'm just Georgia, Texas will have a lot of fans. They'll be excited to go to the SEC championship game for the first time. But I don't know. I'm just impressed with obviously that was Georgia's best win of the year, going to Austin and winning by 2 touchdowns. I'm still going with the Bulldogs here, playing in their backyard to win in the SEC, and then both teams obviously I think getting the CFP.
This will happen more, obviously, with the expanded playoff, but the only one that would have had a chance, and they didn't play during the regular season, was Alabama, Georgia, where they played in the SEC championship game and then rematch in the national title game. So that would have been the only one, but they didn't play that year.
Yeah,
in the
I don't
regular
think
season.
That's ever happened.
Very good, Scott.
Scott, last thing before we let you go, Christmas gifts. Your Tiger Stadium book is out. Looking for a holiday gift, stocking stuffer. Tell them about the book.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. It's 100 Years in Death Valley. It came out earlier, about a month ago. And, just, celebrating the 100th anniversary season of Tiger Stadium, and chapters of great players, great games, things that happen in Tiger Stadium that hopefully the people pick up this book and go, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I didn't know that. Or I forgot about that. Obviously everybody remembers Garth Brooks and stuff, but got a couple of Taylor Swift pictures in the book because she's played Tiger Stadium twice in Bayou Country Superfest and on tour. And just a lot of memories of how the stadium came to be put together. It's been like pieced together over the years. If you really look at it, you can tell. But a labor of love. I went back and forth on this book for years trying to decide how I wanted to do it, and I was like, am I going to do it? Am I not? And then finally, I was like, I couldn't bear it if someone else did this book. So I think it turned out pretty well. It's at all the Barnes and Nobles. You can order online through our publisher, pediment.com, or at theadvocate.com store. And hopefully we'll have a couple of book signings between now and then. We can get it signed for you if you like.
Very good, Scott. Safe travels to Atlanta. We'll talk to you next week.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Scott Rabal from The Advocate.
Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, man. You think about now's the time. You're not thinking about your AC. We're running the heater a little bit right now, but now's the time to get that regular maintenance check, that annual maintenance check, clean it, make sure everything is, because this will get it out the way now. You don't want to wait till everybody starts calling and then we're backed up, and because of regular calls when it gets a lot hotter. But now is the time to pick up the phone and call 480-1000, 480-1000. Get that one-time heating or AC check. Normally $179. It's just $79. But then it gets you on the regular maintenance. We'll get you in the on the calendar, and we'll remind you when it's come down. You got so much things to worry about, keep track of. Ain't worried about your heating and AC till it breaks down, huh? Well, this is going to keep your monthly bills down. It's going to extend the lifetime of your warranty. Nobody likes paying higher bills. Nobody likes replacing a unit, but it's going to help in all that. It's like changing the oil in your car. Got to do it. Call Total Maintenance right now. Normally $179, just $79, and we'll get you on that membership program, cover all of the services and discounts and extended warranties, and we'll know when it's time to have get that oil change for your heating and AC unit. Total Maintenance, 480-1000, 480-1000.
Just across, Mike Tyler, the tight end from Columbia, flips his commitment from LSU to South Carolina. This was long expected, but that just became official. Live at lunch from Snows, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Corrects done. Personal injury done. Workers' comp done. Truck wrecks done. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done.
Attorney Gordon McKerney, Baton Rouge, LA 22 13634.
Get Gordon.
This holiday season, treat yourself to the gift of luxury at Genesis of Baton Rouge. While you're checking off your holiday to-do list, we'll take care of the rest with our exclusive concierge services. Need a test drive? We'll bring the vehicle to you. Got service scheduled? Our valet picks up and returns your vehicle, saving you precious time to focus on what matters most. Because luxury isn't just about the vehicle, it's about the experience. Visit genesisofbatonrouge.com and give yourself the holiday gift you deserve. Genesis of Baton Rouge. Luxury delivered.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
When it comes to building and property inspections in Southeast Louisiana, go with the certified experts, Avid Inspection Specialists. From homes to businesses, or mold, lead, or asbestos inspections, they have the latest technology to give you peace of mind. Avid Inspection Specialists. Visit avidspecialists.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Have a question, a problem? Call us. We answer the phone. 225-363-9053.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
All right, let's go to Las Vegas. VSiN's Wes Reynolds. Wes, how was your Thanksgiving, buddy?
It was good, Jimmy. I mean, it was very good. Very, very good result over the weekend for the alma mater, at least on the gridiron. So, all in all, very good.
Well, we've been the love fest for Signetti has been strong on this show, but Wes, I got to throw a little dart at your boy. Fake punt up 38-0.
Yeah, I know. And ordinarily, Jimmy, and I'll admit I am a total hypocrite on this. I usually don't like that because more often than not is bettors. At least more often than not, we're on an under, we're on an underdog, and it screws us at the end when somebody does something like that. But as an Indiana alum and as somebody that's been in attendance for Indiana getting beat 52-7 with Drew Brees at quarterback for Purdue and all these Purdue people having roses because they were going to the Rose Bowl that year, part of me was like, you know what? Go ahead, Sig. Rip their throat out. Go ahead.
Give me my bucket. Bring that bucket over here right now. Give me my bucket.
Go ahead.
Wait, because people are asking me. I mean, is that rivalry that thick there? And so, well, Wes. So it is. That's because listen, LSU. My dad was on the team in '58. Bowls didn't matter. So the last game, they're number one. They're playing for their first national championship game. Score at halftime was 6-0 against Tulane. The final score was 62-0. So it's a memorable game. Well, they had another game that was 62-0, and then another game that was 54-0. They score, and guess what, Wes? Oh, they went for two to put it on 62. Okay, so
and made it.
No, so the rivalry, and does anybody at LSU have a problem with that? But I mean, when LSU got beat 48-7 in the Dome, they sure faked a punt up 30.
Did they really?
Oh, yes, indeed.
I forgot about that.
Oh, yes, indeed. Ran for about 40 yards in the Dome.
My mother made me go to the circus that night.
You're Charlie.
I'm serious. The ringmaster kept announcing the score. It was in New Orleans.
Because Curtis Rourke is still in the game, throwing passes. I think it was 52-0 at that point. Now, they did run the ball the last few drives, run. But Rourke was in there throwing the ball up 52-0 too. So is the rivalry that? So you get a little bit of a pass. It's a little bit understood when you do that.
Yeah, I think so. Because look, I even said on Saturday, like when it was the Penn State Maryland game too, when Penn State is throwing the ball, 4th and 12 from the 15, they're up, I think like 31-7 or something like that. Or I forget, it was 38-7. And Franklin, he likes to tack another on. So part of me was like, I don't know if he needed to do that. But for our rivalry, I'll admit I'm hypocritical because I loved it. I loved putting Route 66 on Purdue. And then they showed the scoreboard at the bottom of the screen. And there's old Kurt Signetti looking all serious, not a smile on his face. It's like, this guy's standing on business, and he's going for the jugular here. And Indiana hadn't had a guy like that in a long time.
Well, I'll just say
we're not used to this.
I know, but one thing I don't want my quarterback taking a cheap shot when you're rubbing it in on somebody and losing for the playoff. And that's, you got to be smart about that, because when you're rubbing it in, expect a little, when you're planting the flag, expect a little pushback. So that's the only thing on there. We're all shocked around here that Alabama got the benefit of the doubt versus the SEC teams, and also against Miami last night in the selection. Are you, Wes?
A little bit. And look, I thought Miami deserved to drop. They deserved to drop just for Mario Cristobal kicking that field goal with like 3 minutes left to go. It's like, What are you doing? You have Cam Ward. Let him throw the ball, man. Live and die with that guy. And it's like, you're not getting the ball back, Mario. And he didn't. And he never got the ball back, and Syracuse got the win. But I didn't know if Miami would drop completely out, because it seems like they're screwed. They need everything to go their way. In Alabama, I thought got the benefit of the doubt. You look at the rankings too. Ohio State lost at home, and they dropped as almost 3 touchdown favorites, and they dropped 4 spots. Miami dropped completely out from number 6. Losing as a double-digit road favorite. Well, you know what? Alabama did the same thing at Oklahoma. Ole Miss did the same thing at Florida. And those, I think, especially Alabama now that they're still in the mix, they definitely got the benefit of the doubt.
This is old as dirt. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt. And, I mean, where's the money coming from? Where's the TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going to bring more TV ratings?
Alabama is.
Alabama, Notre Dame, or Miami, Notre Dame?
Yeah.
The Catholics versus convicts is way in the past, bro.
It is. I listen. I got physically sick on the air on Monday having to defend Alabama. But if you're going to look at quality wins, they beat Georgia, they beat South Carolina, they beat an 8-4 LSU team. I know you don't like Missouri at all, Jimmy, but they still won 9 games. I mean, they've got more wins on the bone than these other teams do. I'm sorry, they just do. Now their losses are horrible.
So
but some of these other losses are bad
move them
too.
ahead of Texas. They're 0-1 against the top 25 too.
I have no problem with that. None at all.
They did as well. So Charlie has a problem with Alabama fans feeling entitled. They are, Charlie.
Oh, I know they are. Believe me. I know.
There was a meme out there that was put out there on social media. This was going into the Ohio State game where there was like a little cartoon where there was a big, giant, angry monster that represented the SEC where it's like, "Chew and we hope you die." And then it shows like a little kid, Indiana college football fan. I love college football. Like, we're just happy to be here, you know? And it's like, everybody hates us now. It's like, okay, Indiana, you were a nice story. Now we want you to perish from the face of the earth. But they're not going to, because I think last night's ranking said Indiana's in the playoffs, but bartering on the apocalypse happening, we're not hosting a home game. So we're probably going to Athens or going to Austin.
All right, college basketball last night. So that's old news that Alabama gets the benefit of the doubt, or the SEC. But, I mean, the SEC is the strongest conference, and you're going to put, 4 from the Big Ten in and not 4 from the SEC. So we can get to that as well. But also, this new basketball dominance, the SEC 9-1 against the ACC. So you were aware of that, huh, Wes? But are you?
I was. Well, actually, I wrote the SEC for our Visa and betting guide, and I looked at this conference. I was like, man, this is as good as the SEC has been in a long time in the basketball ranks. And I know you guys have watched, I think it was the Southern Hoops or whatever it was on the SEC network, which was really great history of the conference. And look, there's several teams in this conference that I think can go to a Final Four or win a national championship. This is they were way better than the SEC, and the only win was Clemson last night. And then, that's a bad win, I think, for that program over Kentucky. But the SEC is just so loaded with Auburn. That's a team that can win. I saw Alabama actually out here in Vegas last week. They lose Wrightsell, but that's a really talented group. I think Florida has certainly improved. I think Kentucky is better than a lot of people thought that they were going to be. Well, if Powell can get Arkansas going, they've been a little bit uneven early in the season. Texas is still pretty good defensively. So I think that this is going to be a banner year for the SEC. I said they were going to get 10 teams, and I think that maybe I might be low.
You're low. Because give Max credit on this one, because now is the time where you're creating your conference, your strength of conference RPI. Not once you get into SEC play. Not only 9-1 last night, but now for the season, Max brought to mind 21-2 against the ACC. 21-2 against the ACC. Let's get to the picks.
I don't mind the ACC getting their butt kicked, though. I don't mind that at all.
Maybe Alabama and Auburn could take care of Duke and Carolina on the road as well tonight. We'll see about that. It might level off just a little bit, but the dominance, it is something that Coach Cal going to have a hard time going 500 in his first year in Fayetteville. What's your picks in conference championship in college football this weekend, Wes?
Yeah, a couple that I already did play. I put the over in the Conference USA Championship game with Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State. We know it was weather. They're in Bowling Green last week, and Western Kentucky had to win and get in. They got the field goal from Carnero, 50-yarder in the final seconds, and got in. I think that this is going to be a higher scoring game, assuming that the weather is not much of a factor. We know Rich Rod, look, they run that offense and that spread, quarterback runs, and they can get big explosives in the running game. And then Western Kentucky kind of air raid us. So 57.5, I know looks high when it was such a low scoring game last week, but did bet the over there. But one thing to be aware of Rich Rod, I wonder if these rumors to West Virginia, if there's any reality to them. I think Jimbo is kind of the guy everybody points to for that job, but I don't know about that. So I played the over in that game. Also played the under in the ACC title game, Clemson and SMU, because I think there's so much on the line, especially now for SMU with the explanation that we got from Ward Manuel, the committee chair last night. It's like, they'd be better just not playing this game, because it feels like making the conference championship in your first year, you're kind of going to end up getting screwed in the end if you don't win this game. So I like the under at 56, 55.5 in that one. And I'm trying to avoid temptation in the Big Ten championship game because James Franklin never beats these top 5 guys. But I'd almost be leaning 3.5 with the Nittany Lions here in Indianapolis.
Charlie, will the conferences allow? I mean, this is crazy. This takes away from the appeal of the conference championship game, but it helps your conference members secure their spot if they're in right now. Can you play Secret Santa and pass? Can SMU pass on a game?
No, they can't.
Can't do that.
Well, they can't.
They're in if they pass.
I know.
Okay, so let Miami and Clemson go play.
So the reason that they put the top 4 conference champions with buys was to
make sure the top 2,
make sure that the conference championship meant something. Okay, so there is something to play for here because those conference commissioners, especially in the SEC, are clutching the money that they get from that game with both hands and don't want to let it go. And if you make that game irrelevant, that money goes away, and they don't want that.
Got your share of the college football playoff doesn't trump the conference championship games? I think the conference championship games are a little bit at risk here, sir.
They might be, but they're going to go kicking and screaming.
Because if you pass, SMU's in.
Yeah. And they have gone to great lengths to – how long has Sankey been politicking? You cannot hold it against them if they lose in the conference championship games. He's been saying that since September.
He's been kind of warning. Well, that's his league.
Yeah.
The ACC is a little bit different. There is a legitimate debate whether this is you think this is a multiple bid league or not. The SEC is more than 2. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sorry. SMU. And listen, the better thing too, Wes. Look, best teams, Miami, Clemson, SMU, and Notre Dame plays at 6 games in League 2. None of them play 1 game against each other. I mean, that's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem. Wes,
right.
who you got?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Schedules.
Yeah.
It's the imbalanced schedules. And, it's not like Indiana didn't want to play Oregon or didn't want to play Penn State. It's just that's the way it works out, though. But I'll be interested if SMU gets the short end of the stick, man. Get old Sherwood Blunt on the phone. I know you know who he is. Sherwood Blunt is not going to be happy if the Mustangs get left out.
Guess what? All the talk is now, and that's what it is. If SMU loses, SMU or Bama. Did you pay attention last night? SMU ain't getting ahead of Alabama. They ain't going to be more. SEC's not going to have less teams in the Big Ten. They're going to whatever tiebreaker they got to come up with, whatever they want to go for their record. Just go with the record for the top 25. Alabama will have a better record. So when they did it last week, they'll do it on Sunday morning as well. What are they right now to make it to the playoff? It start out even money. It ain't even money anymore.
Minus.
It was minus $2 yesterday.
Yeah.
Before they revealed.
You bring up an interesting point, though, for the ACC, not for the SEC, but for the ACC. What's more valuable, a playoff share or a conference championship game? What's more valuable to them? I mean, the SEC championship is worth it's 9 figures, I know, to
to themselves.
Yeah. I don't know what that is in the ACC. Their championship game's not usually not as well attended and not as well rated.
No, and look, we're dealing with that with the Big Ten game. I think Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports put out the fact that, hey, you can get in this Big Ten title game in Indy for like $12, and that's not because Indy's a bad host. They've sold out that game numerous times because you got Oregon and you got Penn State who are far away, who have bigger aspirations than winning the conference title. And you got to think these teams are going to have to win a national championship. Those that are in conference title games 4 times, 4 trips for those teams and those fan bases, man. That's a lot. So that's why you're seeing, I think, these conference championship games may be at risk.
At DraftKings in the Queen Casino here in town, our local sports book, again, Alabama's minus 370 right now to make the playoff. And at FanDuel, they're minus $4. So, yes, no, SMU. Sherwood, get a win on Saturday. NFL, who you got, Wes, this week?
I got a couple. We're going to play against one of the hottest teams in the league, the Buffalo Bills, and we're going with the Rams plus 4.5 late Sunday afternoon. Bills off the win over Kansas City, and then the bye week, and then they win the Snow Bowl against San Francisco, a really depleted 49ers team. So Bills getting a little pricey here. This is a big one for the Rams, too, because you may only get one team in that division with them all kind of condensed together. I think that they're going to need this one badly. So Rams plus 4.5 over the Bills.
Wes, good luck to you, brother. Always, because tell Signetti to clean up that act. Okay, let's keep it to the old Loken bucket crew. So that's it.
I'm not going to tell our national coach of the year anything.
Coach Six. Thank you, Wes. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, fellas.
All right. Don't forget our friends over at Electric Man, electricmanbatonrouge.com. Charlie, electrical work is not do it yourself. Do it yourself at home. Figure it out type of work. No, indeed. At Electric Man, call our professionals, man, whether it's installations, lighting, electrical safety. Electrical safety is a big deal, man. Safety will always be our top priority at electricmanbatonrouge.com. Whether it's temper-resistant receptacles, ground fault circuit interrupter outlets, arc fault circuit interrupter outlets, or even USB outlets, we've got you covered. Free estimates, guaranteed schedule appointments, friendly technicians, quality service. electricmanbatonrouge.com.
Live at Snows, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
As we all live longer, age is really just a number, but retirement is so much more than one. Edward Jones Financial Advisors want to know what you want out of your retirement so we can help you get there. Together, we can look at the big picture and make a strategy to help you reach your goals. Because you can't prepare for the unexpected if you don't know where you're headed. Call your local Edward Jones office to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
In Greenville Springs, call Chris Choate. In Zachary, call Jimbo Walker. In Baton Rouge, call Tex Morris.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Did you know that over 50 million people are missing teeth and experience discomfort and embarrassment due to dentures that just don't fit? We have a solution to transform your life in one day. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Cassadavan. At Fusion Implant Center, we have witnessed life-changing transformations of so many patients, even those patients who were told that they couldn't be helped.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee painless and cost-effective procedures. We are the experts and teach this new technology all over the country.
The Fusion Implant Center, with its team of experts and state-of-the-art operating rooms, is conveniently located in one facility. No procedure is too complex for us. Every patient is a candidate. Let us give you back your confidence and smile.
Call today or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Don't go one more day feeling insecure. Join the over 30,000 who have transformed their smile and enriched their lives in one single day.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Sound Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Sound Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Cooler weather means hot deals at Shawville's Tire and Auto Service. From November 7th through December 8th, get up to $60 back by mail when you buy a set of 4 new select Michelin tires. And get free installation, a $118 value when you use your Shawville's credit card. Visit Shawville'sTire.com to shop Michelin tires and for complete offer details. Shawville, we keep you roll. Offer expires December 8th. Void where prohibited. Subject to credit approval.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
Boudreaux's Electrical, where every client is a VIP 24/7. No subscriptions, just unwavering commitment to your power needs with Generac home standby generators. Boudreaux's treats you like family, not just another outage. Visit boudreauxselectrical.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Lofton Staffing Services, 924-0200 and lofton.jobs. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. The LSU Alumni Association and the Cook Hotel and Conference Center. For reservations, thecookhotel.com. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
The signing ceremony at Carr has been pushed back an hour to 1 o'clock. Next one of these things that starts on time will be the first. So Hunt will have that for you next hour. Plus Brian Kelly's press conference at 2 o'clock, which is also right about the time DJ Pickett is supposed to be signing. Coming up later on, we'll have the press conference in its entirety here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Can I interest you in a good college basketball game tonight, Jimmy?
Can I interest you in a good college basketball angle right now in a handicap games?
Well, go right ahead, and then I'm going to give you your choices tonight.
Okay, so teams coming off, it used to be the Maui flu. Teams coming off of a long flight, resort life,
vacation,
and high, great matchups, high profile, and things like that. But seeing at some of the results over the weekend, this is not just the Maui Classic. You can go McNeese State came home last night. They were at the Virgin Islands in St. Thomas. They were a favorite. They looked a little bit disinterested.
Lost by 8, I think.
Yeah, they lost. I mean, Kansas State. Tulane was actually playing in Cancun. They came back home and played Southeastern, 7.5-point favorites. They lost outright. UAB was in the Virgin Islands. They came back home to play Middle Tennessee State, 8.5-point favorites. They lost outright to Middle Tennessee State. Xavier was playing in Fort Myers in the tournament. 26.5-point favors over South Carolina State. They won about 71-68, Charlie. It was our angle in a few games last night. The last for Tuesday night through Saturday night, it is 6-3 and 13-2 is what? 21-5 against the spread, with about 8 straight up wins. It's first game off a tournament, so highly competitive games. You're a significant favorite, 8 points or more against a group of 5 hungry dog type of team.
You got any more of these cookies left?
I'm doing it. I will have them for Otterlocks later.
For Otterlocks later.
Yes, I will later.
All right, here's your slate tonight. You can get number 15 Baylor at number 25 UConn. Yes, number 25 UConn. If you haven't been paying attention to college basketball, they went 0 for Maui. They're 5-3.
Oh, and Hurley says, I'm not scheduling these anymore. What a jack!
Boy, man,
a-hole.
He just his approval rating outside of stores goes down by the day. Huh?
Oh, it's unreal.
Number 10 Alabama is at number 20 North Carolina tonight. That's a 6:15 start. Bama's a 1.5-point dog.
They're coming off a Vegas trip.
Okay. Marquette, ranked 5th in the country, is going to Ames. That's the Big 12 Big East Challenge. Iowa State is ranked 6th. So you got number 5 versus number 6. Marquette, you're catching 5.5 with them. Kansas is going to Creighton. You think they hyped up in Omaha for that one? They will pack that arena.
Creighton's struggling.
They are struggling, but you know that they will put a big crowd in there for that game.
No, what do you mean? They sell out every game.
Right.
I don't care if they play, but South Carolina upstate to freaking North Carolina.
We've seen them come up with some big efforts when the Big East, the Villanovas have come in there.
But Charlie, they're playing better. They're not playing well right now.
Okay.
That same place, they like to play Nebraska. Nebraska beat them soundly this year.
Kansas, 4.5-point road favorite tonight in Omaha. And then at 8:15 tonight, number 2 Auburn, who is 7-0, is at number 9 Duke. You ain't going to get Auburn catching points very many times this year. This is one. They're plus 3.5. And then at the same time, I think this is going to be a really good basketball game. We saw Pitt against LSU. They are 7-1. They go to Mississippi State tonight. Bulldogs are a 5.5-point favorite there. So you got some really, really good college basketball matchups tonight.
You started Big Ten, Wisconsin and Michigan last night. Big Ten, even the traditional Pac-12 teams in the Big Ten now. You saw UCLA and Washington play last night. Oregon, USC tonight, and some others. So, and then we got the ACC-SEC, challenge again. Pitt, Mississippi State, Texas, NC State. Pitt, LSU was, it was a wild game with them, had to lead at halftime, and then Pitt opened it up in the second half. Their NET is top 10. It's top 10. Mm-hmm. So in the hump. So Texas and Raleigh against NC State, Auburn at Duke, as you said, Alabama at North Carolina. So, yeah, some good ones. Kalkbrenner, man, they could have been shown. He had the unbelievable game against a weaker opponent this year, but they've been bottling him up a little bit. They're 5-3 right now. So Creighton had a real piece to build around. Dickinson against Kalkbrenner. That's a nice big matchup in Omaha as well.
All right, you got all of that.
The good stuff.
Yes, very, very much so. Very much so. No seafood and steak?
Yes, that's where we are, Charlie.
I know.
What are you ordering?
Oh, man, the Red Beans Francis is always one of my favorites, man.
We'll have to see if it is on special over here. Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74. Just about everything from fried seafood to great steaks, different chef-inspired specialties. They do a seafood specialty. They do a steak special each and every week. Our lunch specials are Tuesday through Friday. Always do a chef-inspired one, and then we do a salad every day over here at Snow Seafood and Steak. Holiday season, we've got big parties in the back of the banquet rooms. It's booked the rest of the season, but you got big gatherings. Call ahead of time. We'll have a table set for you at Snow Seafood and Steak.
Live at Snow's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Get going and get it done.
Where's Jolie Pearl tomorrow?
Whenever you're back.
All right, hang one second. Make sure.
Okay.
The style of the game was actually an entertaining style of basketball. They were fucking getting after it. They're getting after it, making some shots.
One of the students made a half-court putt to win free Whataburger for a year.
Really?
It got people going. It's a little more energy. Most that they've had so far this year.
It's a little bit of a problem, though, that I didn't even know there was an ACC-SEC challenge going on. I don't know how dead your program is. It's trying to come back. Jelly Pearl.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
All right. Okay, hold on. It's rolling.
This is Charles Hannegrove. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. Dwayne Colucci will be with us from Las Vegas. Wait a minute. What am I forgetting? How many humans is going to be with us tomorrow night? This is Charles Hannegrove. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza in downtown Baton Rouge. Dwayne Colucci and Kenny White join us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
In Baton Rouge, blending a piece of home and love into the perfect gift. Visit mimosahandcrafted.com or stop by today.
This is Charles Hanniger for Supreme Rice. We always ask you to support our Louisiana farmers. Well, Supreme Rice has a long history of working with those Louisiana farmers in developing and maintaining sustainable farming practices. And now their Climate Smart program supports farming practices that reduce methane emissions and support water conservation, positively impacting the longevity of rice farming for future generations. So the next time you shop for rice, make it Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to supremerice.com and look for the Climate Smart logo on Supreme Rice bags coming soon.
In Louisiana, it's not if you're going to need a home standby generator. The question is when. Optimized Generator People are Louisiana's largest and best full-service Generac dealership with 4 locations covering all of South Louisiana from Lake Charles to Slidell. And they only do one thing, home standby Generac generators. Prepare now so so you can stop worrying about not having emergency power when you need it. It's optimized. GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com.
Majestic Metals is located in Sorrento with over 60 years experience in the pre-engineered metal building industry. Majestic Metals is the leading metal roofing manufacturer with high-quality products, superior customer service, and a fast turnaround. We offer both commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padiel at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. If you switch your residential or commercial trash pickup to us, we promise to never sell your trash to the paparazzi. Seriously.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Snow Seafood and Steak in Gonzales on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
17 signees in for LSU with another, let's say 7 to go. They got 7 unsigned commitments. We expect one of those to flip out and one of those to flip back. Derek Meadows is still listed as a commitment. We expect him to sign with Alabama. Solomon Thomas at 4 o'clock. Chance at LSU gets the 5-star offensive tackle to flip from Florida State. DJ Pickett's signing ceremony comes up at 2 o'clock. Jakeem Stewart's signing ceremony at Carr was supposed to be at noon. They pushed that back to 1 o'clock. So we'll see if there's anything to that. Hunt will have all of that for you. And at 2 o'clock, Brian Kelly's press conference will be aired in its entirety from LSU as a part of the Hunt Palmer Show. Thanks to the folks here at Snow's for being our host. Wonderful place to visit here during the holidays, anytime really, but especially during the holidays. Come on out here, Airline Highway at 74. Tomorrow we're at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza in downtown Baton Rouge. Hope you can make it in your plans to be with us in. For Max and Jimmy, for Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Gulf Coast Office Products is.
All right, you guys have a good one.
You too, Jordan. Thanks.